todos, bienvenidos al canal. Como podéis ver, estamos en un mes que me gusta mucho, un mes muy especial. Empezamos octubre, un mes en el cual vamos a intentar no perder la cordura jugando juegos un poco diferentes a lo que hemos estado jugando todo este tiempo. Sin más, os presento el juego, el primer juego de este mes, el mes del terror. Así que vamos allá. Aquí lo tenéis, la llamada de Cthulhu. Así que sin más, vamos a empezar. No he jugado nunca, lo que sí es jugar al juego de rol. Vamos a intentar que sea lo más inmersivo posible, ¿de acuerdo? Así que empecemos. Boston, 1924. Edward Pierce, veterano de la Primera Guerra Mundial, ahoga sus recuerdos en alcohol y somníferos. Ahora trabaja como detective privado, pero le cuesta encontrar un caso que le despierte de su letargo. Pierce debe encontrar un caso nuevo pronto o se arriesga a perder la licencia. Por lo que veo tenemos una especie de mini tutorial. Nunca he jugado un juego de este estilo, así que vamos a intentar. No puedo hacer nada. Pero ¿cómo coño cojo yo esto? Vale. De acuerdo.
In my wake, pulled along, fate inescapably draws you on. What a putrid offering. Don't fight. You have been chosen. Behold. Everything has already been written. But perhaps you will attempt to change your destiny.
Lugares, mi oficina. Agencia de investigación de Pierce. Mi oficina, que pertenece a la agencia de detectives Wentworth. Después de la Gran Guerra decidí instalarme en Boston, donde siempre hay trabajo para gente como yo. Llegan casos pequeños sin parar. Adulterios, venganzas, desapariciones que no lo son. El viejo sofá de la oficina no es tan cómodo como una cama de verdad, y debería tirar las botellas vacías. Pero este sitio es mío por el momento. Pierce. Tenemos habilidades aquí. No tenemos 0 puntos por lo que veo. Cordura. Inventario. Tenemos un mechero. Vale.
I wonder why I still take these things.
Los tenemos, ¿no?
I used to be an avid reader. The Wentworth Agency doesn't attract top-notch cases. Married woman runs off with her girlfriend. The husband couldn't understand it. A good old story of blackmail in a speakeasy. Natural sciences, linguistics, archaeology. It's been a while since I jotted down something other than my nightmares.
El médico podrá decir... Perdón. Agencia de investigación de Pierce. El médico podrá decir cuantas veces quiera que ya no necesito el remedio para mantener a raya los recuerdos, pero yo sé que volverán si paro. Cualquier mañana de estas es probable que no me despierte. A pesar del tratamiento, vuelvo a oír voces en mis sueños, pero esta vez son diferentes, desconocidas. Parecen brotar a la superficie desde las profundidades ancestrales e ignotas. ¿Qué criatura sin nombre es la que me llama? Yo me lo puedo imaginar, amigo, pero bueno. Tomar una vida. Tenemos el teléfono.
I'm listening.
Are you Edward Pierce, private investigator contracted by the Wentworth Detective Agency?
That's correct.
Hello, Mr. Pierce. I'm Lucy Sherifield, in charge of investigators over at Wentworth. I'm calling because of a problem with your file. A fire has destroyed some of our documents.
Is that right?
I'm so very sorry, but I have to collect your personal information yet again.
Vale, vamos a ver. No puedo... Ah, vale. Vale. Validar. Sí.
Thank you for this information, Mr. Pierce. Our files will still be up to date. And on a related matter, may I raise a sensitive question?
What's wrong?
As you know, we wish to closely monitor the progress of our contractors. And it would seem you've been accepting fewer new cases.
Work is scarce.
Mr. Pierce, you know as well as I do there's never been more investigative work than now.
But are those cases worth it?
They're worth not losing your license. Show yourself worthy of the Wentworth Detective Agency, and we might keep you on the payroll. Mr. Pierce, are you still...
I'm coming.
Sir, I came here on the advice of a person whom I hold in high esteem, and I must say that I expected anything but a drunkard's lair.
You're free to leave anytime, sir.
Do you know to whom you speak?
Stephen Webster, industrialist and art collector. All of Boston knows you.
Tell me, Mr. Pierce, are you capable of handling a new case, or are you simply a deadbeat inebriate?
If you come to me, it means you're desperate.
Nobody believes me. They take me for an old fool. Sarah, my little girl, she is dead. Even you must know of her. She was Sarah Hawkins.
The painter? Yes. Everyone knows her work.
The police accuse her of killing her family. They all died in a fire. Sarah, her husband, and Simon, my grandson.
I can't do anything for a woman who is already dead.
Find out the truth. They say she was mad, but I know that's a lie. She would never have done such a thing.
But if you have no proof...
I've brought all that I have. Look. I want you to look carefully at this painting. Tell me all the assumptions that come to mind.
What am I supposed to find?
Tell me if this is the work of madness. Or if, on the contrary, you manage to detect some logic, a rationality to follow so that I may understand it.
Is that all you want from me?
Yes, please.
All right. I'll look at your picture. That's all you've got? The painting?
I placed a file on your desk. It contains everything I have on the affair.
Vale, un segundín porque... Está a tope. Sigamos.
A warehouse on Darkwater. Some sketches of the Hawkins family. Rather thin.
Una etiqueta de envío. Es casi ilegible, pero entiendo parte de la dirección. Almacén 36, Darkwater. El informe policial dice que el fuego empezó en el comedor y se llevó a toda la familia. La policía concluye que fue un accidente doméstico. Sin embargo, hacen hincapié en la fragilidad mental de Sarah Hawkins. ¿Por qué? Un recorte de prensa. Un artículo sobre el matrimonio de Sarah y Charles Hawkins, un hombre de negocios de la isla de Darkwater. Llevaban una vida solitaria con su único hijo Simon. Vale. Vamos a examinar el cuadro.
What's this symbol on the man's chest? It's as if Sarah Hawkins breathed a message into it.
So, Mr. Pierce, what do you make of these elements?
The meaning could be exactly as it appears. I think your daughter is sending you a message.
That's what I believe, too. It was 3 months ago that I received the call from the police telling me of my daughter's death. And yet a short while after, this painting was delivered to my home. The painting is linked to this case, can't you see? You must find the meaning behind all this.
The sender's label mentions Warehouse 36.
That's right. It came with Sarah's last painting.
And you think your daughter could have been the sender?
That is what you must find out. Go to Darkwater. Find Warehouse 36.
Darkwater? Never heard of the place. Where is that?
It's a small, remote island off the coast of Boston. Sarah lived there with her son and her husband.
I suppose you want to ship me off there.
Darkwater holds the secret regarding my daughter, Mr. Pierce. You must uncover it.
I think I'm beginning to understand.
I'm willing to do anything for my daughter to recover her honor.
Quiet down. I'm on your side. Let's sum things up. An artist dies with her family in a house fire. Your only clue is a sort of promontory painting sent from Darkwater right before her death.
Correct. And the rumors about her supposed folly.
Which you don't totally deny.
Find that warehouse. Find out the truth regarding Sarah Hawkins' death. You'll be handsomely compensated.
All right, I'll take the case. I'll go to Darkwater and look into the death of your daughter.
Thank you, Mr. Pierce. I didn't expect any less coming from a man in your situation.
Something's queer. But it's not like I have a choice. Darkwater. I think I've got a book on the North Atlantic. I'll no doubt find some information on this island in there.
Vale. Inventario, no tengo absolutamente nada. El mechero y Darkwater. Y Simon Hawkins. Vale. Pues con esto y un bizcocho nos vamos.
Almost there.
Un lugar muy acogedor.
Stay on board. There's guys coming to unload. Welcome to Darkwater Island, Mr. Pierce.
Why, thank you, Captain Fitzroy.
So, what wind brought you?
Does the Hawkins case mean anything to you?
A sad story that we would all prefer to forget. Charles Hawkins may have been a landlubber, but he was a good man.
And his wife, Sarah Hawkins.
Nice young woman, and a great painter. What a tragedy. You know what? Go have a drink at the Stranded Whale. What you need is a good pick-me-up. Mitchell may not be very welcoming, but his bar holds a surprise for you. As for me, you'll find me at the harbor master's office. If it's the Hawkins family that brings you here, I have a pile of documents that should interest you.
Understood. I'm going for a look around the docks. Prohibition is just a joke around here. That suits me fine. Hey, be careful. Let's get him another drink. He's dry.
In my bar, we don't serve troublemakers.
You saw what happened. He's the troublemaker.
Oh, you're a true mainlander. A real princess. You strut around with your la-di-da ways, and then, as soon as the pressure arises, you start squealing. You don't have what it takes to drink my whiskey. You've got to earn it.
I'm here for information, not for a fight.
I prefer it that way. Speak then. I reserve the right to answer or not.
Captain Fitzroy told me about a little pick-me-up.
Oh, yeah? That must have been before you came looking for a fight in my bar.
Oh, come on. Because of a little tussle.
Drinking it here is a privilege, and I grant the privilege to whoever I want. Anything else?
What can you tell me about her?
We all knew she was famous on the mainland for her paintings. Never understood why. Then, I don't want to speak ill of the dead.
Her style made her famous. How would you describe it? Tortured?
Yeah, well, it wasn't normal. I mean, for a young woman with a child and all that. We saw them in the papers and we said to ourselves, who can paint such things? Is that how she sees the world?
So they made you feel uncomfortable.
You need to see them for yourself. Make up your own mind.
Her vision. Was it so terrible?
Way I see it, the truth is really a question of point of view.
What do you mean by that?
Do you still trust the truth after a bottle of whiskey?
I've got what I need.
Anything else?
The stranded whale. I guess this bar has been here a long time.
What can I tell you? I'm a nostalgic sort of guy. The name, it reminds us of the golden age of dock water, when our whalers left for long months and came back sweating and stinking of the oil and flesh of the whales they'd been hunting.
It was a tough time, all the same.
Ah, but steeped in glory. We've never known such wealth since then.
I didn't expect to find alcohol on this island. What's the source of this miracle?
You mean who? Our source of supply wouldn't like me to betray them to the first comer.
I'll tell nobody.
She'd know it anyway. Anything else?
Do you know where this place is? Warehouse 36, Darkwater Harbor.
The Hawkins warehouse. I see, yeah. If I were you, I wouldn't hang around there.
Why not?
First off, there are rumors. Sailors from around here say you can hear noises coming from the warehouse at night. Screams, that sort of thing.
Screams.
And that's not all. There's the fate of its owners and all the superstitions that go with it. But I'll say no more. Anything else?
Captain Fitzroy told me about a little pick-me-up.
Oh, yeah? That must have been
Oh, come on.
drinking. Anything else?
That'll be all for now.
Vale, vamos a ver si encontramos cositas. por
Charles
ahí.
Hawkins was a heavy drinker. And a debtor. Interesting.
Then he said, "You have no right to treat us like
The miraculous catch. Apparently, the most significant event of the last 80 years.
And the doctor, what did he think?
he laughed."
Nightmares. Can hear things and voices whispering. Will follow its reader and appear at various locations, gifted with its own consciousness, until it finds a new reader.
Do you like our song?
We're true sirens.
We may not be pros, but we give it all we've got.
That's true. It's a reminder of the time when we were still fishing for whales off Darkwater Island.
What brought whaling to an end?
The whales, of course.
They all disappeared.
You exhausted the stocks.
You could say that, yes. There were fewer and fewer of them.
Until the last, the biggest.
The one of the miraculous catch.
Exactly.
I've never heard this song before.
Only people from here know it. It tells the story of the miraculous catch.
I saw the newspaper clipping. You don't believe it, do you?
Watch what you say, young man.
That catch saved our island.
Ah. Where's the proof?
We're the proof.
Without it, the whole of Darkwater would have died of hunger in 1847.
It's true. Everything happened just as it says in the newspaper report. Our grandparents tasted its flesh.
And it was delicious.
I bid you farewell, gentlemen.
Good night, stranger.
So long.
What you looking at, stranger?
I've rarely seen a woman who can hold her liquor so confidently.
What gives you the right to judge me?
Ah, it was a compliment.
So what? Let me drink, stranger. I told you to beat it.
Qué mal. Vale. Pues nos largamos del bar. Vale, ahí podemos ir. ¿Esto podré cogerlo? Bueno, podemos intentar antes de ir al almacén. Vamos a ver con Fitzroy. Pero vamos a investigar primero.
Fishing equipment. Could do with some rust remover. A souvenir from a more prosperous era. I guess the Scylla. It finished up beached at the entrance to the harbor.
Bueno, oye. Quiero investigar antes de hablar con él.
This man and Fitzroy could be twins. What a macabre souvenir.
Un arpón. Vale, vamos a ver con Fitzroy.
I've brought out the Charles Hawkins cargo manifests. They're on the table next to you. But in truth, you're likely to be disappointed. When you're done, come join me on the deck.
These manifests are signed by Charles Hawkins. That's all I'll get from them.
¿Qué coño?
From here, I see everything that goes on in the harbor. The hard-working lives of my sailors, the fights at the stranded whale. Even the antics of these wharf rats don't escape me.
It's you who lays down the law around here.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. I'm just the last serving captain on Darkwater. Tell me what I can do to help you.
Your manifests have been blacked out. They're totally unreadable.
Yeah, I saw that. I've got no idea who did it or why. I don't remember having countersigned anything special enough for someone to hide it.
And why obliterate the dates, as well as the goods stored in the warehouse?
You mean that the dates have some meaning?
I don't know. It's not my signature next to that of Charles Hawkins.
I'm at sea for more than half the year. Anyone could have done it during my absence. What seems really important to me is that the dates on these manifests indicate that Charles probably had other contracts.
But not with you, though. I was looking at your photograph. One of the man in front of the boat.
Ah, yes, I can see the one you're talking about.
Interesting resemblance. I thought it was you, but with a wooden leg.
And for good reason. That's my father in the photograph.
Your father?
John Fitzroy, captain of the Scylla. His wooden leg is here. You can go and see it if you're interested.
The miraculous catch. Is it a local legend?
Not at all. It's an episode from our glorious past. Go read the story of the sailor's return to Darkwater Harbor. It's displayed on a wall of the stranded whale.
I'm looking for Warehouse 36. Do you know where it is?
Look, it's right there. The warehouse is opposite the jetty. You can't miss it.
Understood.
You know who the building belongs to, don't you?
It belonged to the Hawkins family.
Precisely. Ship owners from father to son.
I think that somebody here wanted me to search this warehouse. I shall be on my way.
So come back and see me when you've got something new.
Bueno. Vamos a ver, tenemos 2 puntitos. Bueno, el almacén está allí, pero vamos a intentar dar una vueltecita, ¿vale? Caballeros. Es un lugar entrañable.
It looks like there's a way in under this grate.
puedo subir arriba por aquí.
I could use this old winch to lift the grating.
Que no, de momento no puedo, ¿no? Vale. Bueno, sabemos que cerquita de donde está Fitzroy tenemos un sitio en el que probablemente... Hostia, ¿este pavo qué hace aquí?
You saw what happened with those sailors. Don't hang around here unless you want trouble with the bootleggers.
This warehouse looks abandoned. Why does it interest them so much?
No doubt a question of territory, but I ain't asking. You want to know more, go ask the captain.
Good. Thank you. I shall take my leave.
Vamos a ver aquí si se cuece algo.
Let the police do their work. Hey, Sullivan. Can't you go any faster?
Have you seen how old...
The same goes for you, sir. Move along.
They seem to be very agitated about a dead animal.
You're telling me? These fools think that putting the whale back in the water will bring about the end of the world.
They're superstitious.
If only you knew. They only listen to Captain Fitzroy. And not always. And you. What brings you to our island?
I'm looking for this address. Warehouse 36, Darkwater Harbor.
I like you, so I'll be frank with you. Don't go near the place. Don't try to get in.
Why?
Because I told you so. Learn to accept some friendly advice. Now, please, allow me to do my job.
You don't put that beast back in the water.
You didn't tell me that the warehouse I was looking for was right in front of us.
Because its owner is dead. And I don't want to see you hanging around it. Now, please, leave us to our work.
You can't understand. You're not sailors. It's a sign. There's something coming. Something real.
Este pavo seguro que me habla también.
Where do you think you're going?
Who are these others so interested in the warehouse?
And why would I tell you?
What's the difference between a police officer and a private detective?
The badge?
Exactly. Apart from that piece of metal, there's nothing that sets us apart.
You think so?
We're looking for the same thing, you and I.
Okay. Spare me the next verse. I'll tell you what I know. There are sailors who think that there's a beast prowling around the docks. Then again, these guys panic at the thought of bringing a rabbit onto a boat, so...
I see.
And there are others who would like to use the warehouses for their goods.
Who are they?
Sorry, I really can't talk about them. Where do you think you're going?
I thought that the Hawkins case had been closed.
That's true.
So what are you doing on guard duty in front of this warehouse?
Who's asking the questions here, the cop or the tourist?
What more can you say about the death of the Hawkins family?
Not much more than what everyone knows. I wasn't on the case. They were all burnt to death, right? Up at their place.
The whole mansion went up in flames.
Don't get it into your head to go wandering around up there. It's dangerous.
What do you mean by that?
The only one left there is old Silas, and the accident has affected him badly. He can be unpredictable, especially if a stranger starts poking around the property.
Is he a danger to the public?
No, he's in his own home. Do yourself a favor. Leave him well alone. You again. I told you to beat it.
No need to get worked up.
Ya no me da más información, ¿no? Y no podemos entrar al almacén. Perfecto.
You could tell me. No, gets out, I'll have serious problems with you-know-who.
I bet that you hid them somewhere in your hut on the docks. How could you be dumb enough to leave the entrance to the warehouses unguarded?
Keep your voice down. Why not go and shout at the cat while you're at it? I don't want to end up with her little knife under my throat.
It's a stiletto, you idiot. And with that smell on your breath, I don't give you much chance anyway.
Buenas, caballero.
You live here?
Why did you do that, huh?
We saw what you did to St. Brendan.
Yeah, we'll teach you to come onto our island and ridicule our protectors.
I respect your beliefs.
Our beliefs? You mean you don't believe in God?
That's irrelevant.
That's what you think.
There's you, our beloved statue, and then those two bozos behind us. Wait, now that I think about it, it's got to be them. There's one of them who's always going back and forth to the statue.
Quieter. That's all we need for them to hear us.
What brings you to Dark Water?
The two guys behind you. What are they guarding?
The bootleggers. Scum.
They're protecting their territory. From whom, I wonder?
They really don't have a choice anyway. They're more scared of Cat than an attack by drunken sailors.
If only they would kill each other.
This Cat you mentioned. Is she their boss?
Hold on just a minute. We didn't tell you a thing.
Nothing at all.
That statue represents your local saint.
What do you mean by local, exactly?
You wouldn't be looking down at us, like all townspeople do.
St. Brendan. He protected whalers and fishermen like us. Until those assholes defaced him.
Peculiar house.
Yeah, that's where we live. Our boat.
It's not because it doesn't float anymore that we're going to abandon it.
Isn't it a bit early for alcohol?
We got nothing better to do anyway. There's not much work around here.
Fitzroy gives us a few chores every now and again, but since the whaling station shut down, ain't a lot of jobs left around here.
So we drink.
I've taken enough of your time.
We'll see you later.
¿Os podéis creer que yo no veo la estatua, tío, esa que dicen? Buenas. No, contigo no puedo hablar, vale. ¿Cuál será esa estatua? Contigo tampoco puedo hablar. ¿Puedo subir? No.
There. Hello, old friend.
¿Cerramos? ¿Cómo guardo el puto mechero?
St. Brendan, patron saint of sailors and travelers. Desecrated. I can't even say which language it's written in.
No. ¿Cómo apago el mechero? Pues vamos a intentar hablar con los contrabandistas. Sabemos que su jefa es la mujer que hemos visto en el bar. Vamos, la que nos ha mandado a pasturar. Así que vamos a ver qué conseguimos, ¿no?
Who's this guy?
No idea. What's with you wandering around here like a hungry dog?
We saw you talking to the two soaks. Go die of thirst, the lot of you. It'll stink less.
I've got to get inside. It's your boss who sent me.
Oh, yeah? And why didn't she say anything to us?
She sent me to see who's filching her stock.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You got no proof to back up your claims, and I'd advise you against snitching.
If I can't get rid of those two, I'll have to look for another way.
What's with you wandering around here like a hungry dog?
We saw you talking to the two soaks. Go die of thirst, the lot of you. It'll stink less.
I've got to enter the Hawkins warehouse. I guess it's going to be complicated.
No, it's very simple, in fact. Fuck off.
I don't give a damn about your racket. I just want to get into this warehouse.
And we don't give a damn about you. Whatever your reason for wanting inside, there's nothing we can do for you.
Cap. She's your boss.
What? You listen through keyholes?
She's the boss, yeah. She says who goes in or not.
Shut up, you dummy. You wanted to know that you also talk too much.
She must be quite intimidating if she can make two men like you tremble.
She redid the smile at the last one who wanted to get in.
I hope he had a good dentist.
No, you don't understand. She really cut him a new smile.
But he only smiles with the left cheek.
So, who are you?
Are you stupid or are you doing it on purpose?
Everybody knows us on Darkwater.
I've just arrived.
Let's just say we're standing guard for the owner of the site. And we let no one enter her property.
She sounds frightening, your boss.
And she doesn't like to be talked about behind her back.
I went to see the statue of St. Brendan.
What makes you think we did it?
We're bootleggers, not savages.
Who do you think defaced the statue?
What do I know? They could have done it by themselves.
The sailors?
Who else, in your opinion? And who's interested?
I bid you gentlemen farewell. If I can't get rid of those two, I'll have to look for another way.
Vale. Y entonces ahora como... Voy a hablar con el policía otra vez, a ver.
You didn't tell me that the warehouse...
Because it... And I... Now, please.
You can't understand. Don't put that beast back in the water, you shysters. You're crazy.
You again. I told you to be...
No need to get...
Vale, o sea, no puedo hacer nada. Vamos a ver con... nuestro amigo. Estos son nuevos aquí.
We're no longer at home on our own island.
Calm down. It's not worth the effort.
I told him, that flunky, that he'll see what a real sailor has in his belly.
If you continue like that, everyone will see what you've got in your belly.
I hope so. I hope they don't forget the lesson. Me? I'm not scared of some girl.
I mean they're going to cut you open, you idiot. Calm down.
Me piro, señores. Caballeros, me despido.
You're back again. What can I do for you?
Apparently the bootleggers don't want anyone hanging around the warehouses.
They're part of the private property I mentioned earlier.
And yet the place looks abandoned. Why guard the entrance?
As a precaution, I suppose. All the warehouses are more or less interconnected by old sewers.
You mean that there's a way to go from one to the other by tunnel?
I couldn't tell you if it's still the case today for all the warehouses on the island, but I think I can imagine what you've got in mind. You can always visit them if you're not the claustrophobic type.
Vale, podemos intentar hablar con ellos otra vez y si no intento ir a las alcantarillas. A ver si ahora sí que me deja. Caballeros.
What's with you wandering around here like a hungry dog?
We saw you talking to the two soaks. Go die of thirst, the lot of you. It'll stink less.
I bid you gentlemen farewell.
Vale, pues...
If I can't get rid of those two, I'll have to look for another way.
Pues estoy jodido. Una mala tirada de dados. Ya está, no hay más. Vamos a intentar.
A ratchet device. Exactly what I need. A whale vertebra. If the newspaper clipping in the bar is true, this bone is a real fossil.
Vamos a ver si ahora nos deja utilizar el coso este. Sigo sin poder hacer nada.
This handle will be perfect for the winch.
Vale, probemos ahora. Pues... hay más, tío. Por aquí no hay nada, ¿no? Se supone que tiene que haber algo aquí. Está por aquí fuera. A ver si este me dice algo.
You saw what happened with those sailors. Don't hang around here unless you want trouble with...
I shall take my leave.
Vale, a ver. Se supone que tiene que haber algo por aquí. Aquí está la escalera. ¡Ea! Ah, vale.
It should be possible to mount this cogwheel on the winch.
Vale, vale, ahora lo he entendido. Ahora lo he entendido, sí. No leí antes, no leí antes. Cuando te sale eso hay pistas y es como un puzzle.
Looks like everything is in its place. All that's left is to try to turn this handle. Damn, I broke it.
¿Y ahora qué? ¿Qué me estás contando? ¿La cuerda esta o algo?
Well, well. A little mouse has got lost on our turf. You're not only inquisitive, you're also stupid. What gave you the crazy idea to come onto my turf?
Hola, Cat.
Your turf? That's news to me.
For a guy who has no idea, you've been doing a fair bit of poking around. My men saw you staking out the Hawkins warehouse.
Is that against the law?
I'm no idiot, detective. I'll tell you how things work around here. I decide who comes in and who stays out. And anyone who doesn't respect my rules, I punish them.
As you wish.
If you've broken my nose...
I was careful. This time.
Do you want us to take care of him, Cat?
No. Not yet. You don't lack nerve. And you've got a fairly good right. I'm always on the lookout for well-built guys to work for me.
I'll make a note of it.
Please do. I'm Cat. I run the neighborhood. Everyone marches to my tune here. Rather than foolishly risking your skin, come and see me in the bar one of these days. We can talk about what I can do for you, and what you can do for me.
Vale, pero necesito entrar en el almacén. Voy a ver si ahora que estos dos pavos están aquí. Que siguen debatiendo con... No. A ver si ha cambiado algo. Vamos a ver.
What's with you wandering around here like a hungry dog?
We saw you talking to the two soaks. Go die of thirst, the lot of you. It'll stink less.
I bid you, gentlemen.
Al bar.
If I can't get rid of those two, I'll have to look for another way.
Vamos a la ballena varada. ¿Dónde está Cat? Aquí.
Hey, Mitchell. A drink for our new friend. I think it's time to talk business.
No hard feelings?
For a lucky little blow? You think I gotta be boss of these lads without taking any hits? It will serve as a lesson. I was too soft with you. Next time, I'll hit first. Tell me, what brings you to Darkwater?
I'm investigating the deaths of the Hawkins family.
It's very nice of you to tell me the truth so openly, but it's also really stupid of you. You really don't seem to know the area. Let me give you a little advice. If you want to survive more than a day in this rat hole, avoid talking about them to the first people you meet.
I've got a few questions about the island.
I'm not here to give you information. Mitchell will tell you what he wants to tell you.
Is that more dangerous than having a drink with you?
I'm not kidding. The old families, they were here long before us, and they'll be here long after we are gone.
The old families?
The descendants of the first whalers. These people truly worship their ancestors.
I need to get into the Hawkins warehouse.
You're out of luck. It's on my turf.
It's precisely for that reason that I've come to see you.
Are you pulling my leg?
Think it over. I've seen what you're capable of. You almost got me.
I accept the compliment. Well, I see you're serious. To be honest, as long as it doesn't interfere with my business, I don't care. But I'll go with you, to make sure you don't stick your nose into things that don't concern you.
Sounds honest to me.
I'm not finished. If I do that for you, if I let you onto our turf to conduct your little affairs, you'll be indebted to me. And I guarantee that I always collect on what I'm owed. Think about it. I help you, you'll owe me a favor in return. Do you accept?
Do I have a choice?
Oh, we always have one, detective. Follow me.
Bueno.
You've got no problem going out looking like that.
How sweet of you to worry about my authority. I wouldn't be here if I was the sort
Tengo
of girl who'd hide away.
un problemita con un martillo.
People here know who they're dealing with. They watch
Así que
their
me muteo,
step.
gente. Un segundín, ¿eh?
I was given to believe that Fitzroy stood up to you.
That dope tried to save face in front of his sailors. They revere their brave captain as they do their old statues. But sooner or later, all statues get buried in bird shit. And nobody cares.
And the police? They do nothing to stop you?
The local cops? The cops drink like everyone else, sweetheart. They know where their interests lie. Apart from that pig-headed Bradley. I don't know whether to admire his stubbornness or to have pity on him. It's fine. He's with me.
Oh, okay.
Be a gentleman and move that for me. That's how it's done. Do I still need to hold your hand? Or do you think you'll get by on your own now?
Don't overdo it.
Good. In that case, I'll leave you. I've done enough mothering for now.
Ugh, this place stinks. What is the connection between this place and the Sarah Hawkins case? Who has enough money to buy painkillers, but stays in a place like this? It smells as bad as it looks. Is this one of Sarah Hawkins' paintings? Can't sleep. I know how that feels. What is this picture of Charles and Sarah Hawkins doing here? What happened here?
Vale, parece ser que los ruidos han cesado. Así que vamos a consultar las pistas del diario. Tenemos 2 puntitos que queremos ponernos en fuerza. Darkwater, tenemos aquí al propietario, a Fitzroy y a Kat. Lugares. Los 3 lugares y oculto. La verdad es que cuidadito con la horita, ¿sabes? Pistas. Este almacén abandonado oficialmente desde la muerte de Charles Hawkins ha albergado en los últimos tiempos a un residente clandestino, como atestiguan diversos indicios. También cabe señalar la presencia de unas vendas manchadas de sangre que probablemente cubriesen una herida, así como la de somníferos y calmantes. Además, el intruso parece obsesionado por Sarah Hawkins, a juzgar por la presencia de varios documentos relacionados con su vida, como una fotografía y un recorte de prensa. Pero lo que disipa toda posible duda sobre la relación entre el morador del edificio y el caso Hawkins es la presencia de un cuadro a medio quemar, procedente, según el agente Bradley, de la mansión Hawkins. Y aquí tenemos alcohol. Algo tenía que haber hecho, sí. Vale. No tenemos nada más aquí. Vamos a echar un vistacito por si acaso. No hay nada, vámonos.
Someone has settled in here.
And whoever it is has something to tell me about the Hawkins case. Is there anyone in there? You! Don't move! You again. I told you to stay away from this warehouse.
You seem like a competent officer. We should help each other.
You're trying to manipulate me, Mr. Pierce. I hate to be taken for a fool.
All right, Inspector Lestrade. Let me take a more direct approach. Can you explain what this painting is doing here?
This strange portrait. Wait, I know it.
It was in the Hawkins mansion when we came to investigate the fire.
So you confirm that it was removed from the crime scene? Interesting. I'd like to go and see the mansion now.
Of course. You want to go back along his trail? I'd like to understand how this painting made it to here. Come on. My car's parked down the way. Andrews, would you please shut the door? And open your eyes, damn it. This guy went right under your nose. God damn it. Her again. This case has nothing to do with you, Baker. Clear the passage or I'll shut you up for obstruction.
Officer Bradley, you've finally grown a pair. Too bad you're too fat to see them down there.
Why, you...
Come on, keep the smile. You don't want to force me to widen it.
Looks like you've met your match, Baker. I'd like to see that more often.
Okay, I get it. Can we go to the mansion now?
Get this jackass out of here before I stroke his other cheek. But we'll meet again.
Is it far, this mansion?
Look behind you, at the top of the ridge. You see the building?
Qué divertido va a ser.
That's the Hawkins mansion. Come on, we got some driving to do.
Va a ser muy divertido. Pierce consigue entrar en el almacén. En el lugar supuestamente abandonado hay sorpresas. Signos de ocupación reciente y una pintura parcialmente quemada. Su búsqueda se ve interrumpida por el agente Bradley, pero Pierce logra convencerlo para que se una a la investigación. El agente de policía acepta llevar al detective a la mansión de los Hawkins.
Here we are, Hawkins Mansion.
Uf. Qué poco me gusta.
The place has been abandoned since the fire. There's only old Winchester in his hut.
I see no scorched trees or fire damage on the building.
You're pretty damn observant, ain't you? The fire was quickly contained. Old Silas acted as soon as he could.
Not soon enough to save the Hawkins.
They were trapped in the drawing room. And don't go troubling Silas anymore. His guilt torments him enough as it is. Are we gonna take a closer look at this mansion, or do you have other questions?
Your partner, Andrews, warned me against him.
You managed to get something out of that bum? I'll end up asking you for advice.
He talks too much. He inferred that old Silas was slightly unhinged.
That's not far off the mark, I suppose. But kinda unfair at the same time. You know, Silas Winchester has been working for the Hawkins family as far back as I can remember. Charles was like a son to him. The day of the fire, he lost his whole family, so he's got nowhere to go. And, as you'll see, in a way, he's still watching over them. Is there anything else you want to ask me? Or do you want to go up there?
Algo más, algo más.
You won't get me to believe that it looked any better 3 months ago.
It's a very old building, you know? Its foundations would probably date from the arrival of the first settlers.
It's got nothing to do with Charles Hawkins' debts.
Ha! You've already begun to nose around it, would seem. So, since you already know it, the Hawkins family couldn't afford the upkeep of this house. It remains to be seen what they did with all their money. I wager it was Charles Hawkins' travels. Let's go up there. Unless you still have questions.
I prefer to be prepared if there's going to be trouble.
It's a wise attitude. But apart from old Silas and some rotten floorboards, there's nothing to worry about.
Could he be a problem?
Strictly speaking, he ain't dangerous. But since the tragedy, he's been a little touched. Though he's a remarkably sturdy man, given his age. A true force of nature.
A sad old man doesn't worry me.
Gee, if you don't want to listen to my advice, we might as well go. Right?
Falta una cosa, Bradley.
You're the one who looked after the Hawkins case.
Don't think I was trying to hide it. It's just that this discovery shakes my convictions.
That's why you're so keen to find out who removed the painting from the mansion.
Yes. If something escaped us, or if there's been a law enforcement error, then it's up to the police to make good its mistake. Anything else?
No, podemos ponernos en marcha.
Night falls quickly here, and I want to be able to see when we arrive.
I'll go with you, if only to reassure Silas.
Why not? You can help.
Right. Let's go.
Vale, perfecto, pues vamos a dejar el primer capítulo de este mes y de este juego aquí. La verdad es que me está entreteniendo y gustando bastante el juego. Espero que a vosotros también. Y sin más, nos vemos el próximo día con la continuación de Call of Cthulhu. Y si no se os ha acabado la cordura después de ver el vídeo. Chao.